Good morning. It's Sunday, and we're going to talk about my hip. I'm down. I made it. I can't get all the way to my desk office chair way over there by myself at 6 in the morning with my coffee. I can make it over there without it, but right now it weighs too much for me to do this technique. Too heavy on the teeth. All right, let's talk about the hip. We are 2.4 weeks after surgery, and I've been using it way too much. A couple little steps, like, oh, I can go from here to there. It's only 4 steps, and I do it. And then I do this, and then I do that. I've been off all meds for about 3 days. Last night it hurt. It hurt. I used it too much. So I gotta stop. I gotta really, really stop. Hence the reason we are sitting here on the floor, and I did not go for the walk from here all the way over there and just say, oh, I'll walk real quick or real slow and gingerly, and I'll limp basically, and then I'll bring my coffee over and my crutches, and I'll sit and I'll edit and I'll stay off my hip. Yeah, it's not working. So I gotta do better, way better. I took my meds again this morning, so I'm back on them to see if that helps. I also have a headache. This is not a bitch fest. This is not a oh poor me. We'll get into some of the medical stuff in a minute. Some medical miracles. Yeah, my nose is stuffy. My throat hurts. Big burning in the chest. I don't know what it is. I think Quinn has it too. It's moving fast though. It's moving real fast. Congestion, all that stuff. And I don't want to compile other drugs on top of the medications they gave me for my hip, so I'm just gonna ride it out, I guess. Oh, I did some physical therapy, some exercising, still very little weight. I think my sock's on inside out. That's a squirrel moment. And it's the foot I can't really do. It's hard to do. That's what's going on there. So, here comes the juicy parts. I'm not gonna edit all that out because it's real life, people get sick. So when we went to the doctor for my post-op, he showed me pictures. So we've talked about this numerous times. I have nowhere to put you down. Actually, wait a second. Oh, that didn't hurt. You're a little crooked, but that's okay. Ow, that hurt. So the labrum, you got the cup of your hip in your hip, and you walk and it wiggles and jiggles. And right around here is basically a big rubber band that protects these two bones from banging into each other. It's very simple. This rubber band that wraps around is made up of like hundreds of rubber bands that are all together. Think of it as like a braided wire, right? It's not one solid wire, it's hundreds of little wires all twisted together, and that wraps around. So he said, I'm gonna get in there, and if I can fix it, I'll sew it. We'll put some stitches from back here up to here, and we'll go like this to get all those little wires to like get back into place and rebuild it. But when he got in there, it looked like Swiss cheese, or it looked like, it looked a mess. Here we go, I'm gonna show you what it looked like. Yeah, did you see that? That was ugly. You couldn't even tell what you were looking at. It was just shredded apart from that. Remember that little floating rock that floated around in here? I'm gonna show you that video too. You ready? You're going into my hip, and you're gonna see this floating rock thing that they pulled out. Yeah, that was gross. So that rock was allowed to pretty much move wherever it wanted. It's not a rock, it was a piece of my pelvis. Remember this picture here? The yellow circles and arrows and everything? Yeah, so they got that out. That thing was 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter by 1. So 3D, 2 by 1. It was a pretty good size. So when they got that out, oops, you fell again. By the way, this is not too much of a bend in my hip. It's okay. When they got that out, they then proceeded to fix the labrum, and it needed to be totally reconstructed. So this is what it looks like now. Isn't that amazing? You see how pretty that looks? Here it is again. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the science, because we asked. I was trying to fix my cabinet door that's broken. It doesn't hang correctly. It's like it's one of the reasons we would like a new kitchen. That was broken. I think that one over there is broken. There's a couple of them that are broken. So we asked, we're like, okay, where'd that come from? This was all in the paperwork before we started and blah, 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 and you sign your life away. Like, are we allowed to use blood from another, like blood donors if we have to? And I'm like, yeah, of course, keep me alive, I'm young. Here you go, sign everything. So he's like, oh, it was a graft. And we were like, okay, like an artificial? Is that a fake? Like, am I a robot now? He's like, no, that's a human, it's a human labrum. It's from a donor. Oh, well, thank you, Steve. I don't know who it came from. I don't know if it was Steve. My hip might be called Steve now. I don't know. But I highly respect, and I'm one of them. On my driver's license, I am a donor. When I go, if there's anything still good, use it somewhere. But by then, nothing will be good. Based on my hip and my knees, my back and everything, I don't think there'll be anything left, except for my hair. I think I'll have a full head of hair forever. My dad never lost his hair, you know. Give it to somebody else. So yeah, it's a human ligament in my leg that they sewed. Wow, you fell again. So when we went to the therapy guy, he was like, yeah, they don't do that. He's like, the therapy guy rubs me and Liz a little bit the wrong way, but he's okay now. We're getting better. He was like, yeah, they repair it. They put a bunch of stitches in it and they fix the ligament. They might have to put a lot of stitches or a little. I'm like, no, they put in a whole new ligament. And he's like, yeah, they don't do that. So then we asked him and he giggled and he's like, yeah, I'm like one of only 3 or 4 doctors that does it. And then he told us the history of ligament labrum repairs. And he's like, don't worry, it's like 10 years old, this practice. He's like, but it's the right way to do it, and it's new in the surgery world, like 10 years new, and 10 years is considered new. Labrum repairs have been happening for a very, very long time. But he was like, yeah, it's like I'm the only one in Connecticut. He said he thinks there's somebody else in New York and maybe a couple out west. But he was like, yeah, it's very possible that your physical therapy person has no idea. So I showed him the pictures. I was like, yeah, this is what my labrum looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. And he was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting. Like, this guy's been doing rehab for 40 years. He's probably in his 60s or whatever, physical therapy guy. And so he started talking to the physical therapist next to him, and they were like, what did they do? And he was like, they replaced his whole labrum. Kind of like almost doing a whole hip, a new hip. Well, new hip, everything's fake. The cup is fake, the labrum's fake, and the hip joint's fake. It's all fake at that point. Your body holds it all together, but the top cup, the silicone, whatever, I don't know what's in there, but my point is, he's like, so we almost need to treat this like you got a brand new hip, but not. You didn't. So we're at about 40 pounds roughly on my hip of when we walk and do some exercises and things like that. I am really hoping about 4 more weeks until I can get rid of these. And I'm really hoping to, I just noticed something. I really screwed up this morning. I just noticed I forgot my brace. So I noticed something was weird. I'm allowed, okay, I'm coming back over here so I can lean. I'm allowed to sleep without it. I'm allowed to shower without it. And I slept and I showered today. And then I left and came out here. Totally forgot to put it on. So I'm gonna hobble my way back, go get it. I'm gonna put it on. We're gonna be done for the day. We got a lot of family stuff planned for Sunday. I don't know farm-wise. If you're interested in farm stuff and not just me blabbing to you, you gotta go check out our other channel, which you might be able to go to here, or you could just go watch that video there. We'll see you guys later. Bye.